Okay, here's our video on adding integers. So the first thing we need to know is what's an integer? Well, an integer is any number that's not a fraction or a decimal. So 1/2 is a fraction that's not an integer. And a decimal, 0.2 for example, is a decimal. It's not an integer. Okay, so again, an integer is any number that's not a fraction or a decimal. So when we talk about integers, we're talking about negative numbers and positive numbers. So let's look at a number line. We can add them by using a number line. So here's a number line. So here it says -3 plus -2. A way we can look at adding integers is by thinking, when you think of a negative, think of owing money. So if you owe $3 to someone and you owe $2 to someone else, well, you owe $5, right? So it would be -5. So -3 plus -2 is -5. You owe money, you should still owe money. Let's look at it in a number line. So this is -3. We'll put a dot on -3. And it says plus -2. So think of it as minusing 2. So you can make a line to 2 more spaces to the left, and you'll get -5. Okay, so let's look at this again. So we start at -3. Always start with the first number. And it says plus a -2. So negative is backwards, so you go 2 spaces to the left, and there's -5. Right there. Okay, so let's look at some other example. Let's say we know 5 plus 2, right? We know 5 plus 2 is 7. Same thing on a number line. We have 5, and we're adding 2 on the number line. Well, if we had 5 plus a -2, now I'm putting that negative in parentheses, not because it's a parentheses, just because it blocks the plus sign and the negative sign here. You don't want it to look like this, 5 plus -2. That's why I'm putting the parentheses around it. So 5 plus -2, again, you can look at it this way. We can say you have $5 and you owe $2. So you pay someone $2, what are you left with? You're left with $3. Right, so let's look at it on a number line. Okay, let me get another number line here so we can go over this again. So again, let's just write, let's say it was 3 plus -2. So start at the 3. We'll start at the 3. Okay, we'll make a dot by the 3. Now when you see it says -2, anytime you see a negative, go to the left. So go 2 times to the left. 2 times to the left. And you'll have 1. So -3 plus 2 is 1. So that's looking at the number line. Also in the real world, we can think of money. You have $3. You owe $2. So you're left with $1. So that's 2 ways we can look at it. Let's look at another one. Let's say I had -2 plus 5. So let's look at -2 plus 5. I'll put it in here because I have negatives here. So I'll write it again, -2 plus 5. So you start at -2 on the number line. There's -2. You're saying plus 5, and 5 is positive, so with positive, you go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get an answer of 3. Okay, so how can we look at this now? If you owe $2, but you have $5, you give the person you owe $2 and you're left with 3. So again, 2 ways we're looking at it. Owing money and with a number line. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's say I had, -3 plus -6. So where should we start? The first place we should start is the first number. It says -3, so there's a dot at -3. Now since it says we're adding a -6, we're going to the left. Remember, negative, go to the left. If it was positive, we would go to the right. So go to the left 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're at -9. -9. So remember now, we can also look at it like this. If you owe $3 and you owe $6, well, doesn't it make sense that you still owe money? You owe $9, -9. Okay. Now we need a vocabulary word here. It's called the additive inverse. It's the same number with different signs. And remember this rule, the same number with different signs will be 0. So negative 3 plus 3 would be 0. Negative 5 plus 5 will be 0, and so forth. So on a number line, we can make a number line, right? Start with 0, and we'll put a negative 3 there. And we'll put 1, 2, 3 there. We start at negative 3, and now it says plus 3, so we'll go into the right. 1, 2, 3. So you can see it on a number line. Bring that up. You can see that on a number line. And it also makes sense with money. If you owe $3 and you pay the $3, you had $3 and you paid it off, then you owe no money. 0. Okay. Negative 3 plus 4. Think subtraction. Think owing money. You owe $3, but you have $4 in your pocket, so what would the answer be? You'll be left with $1. Okay? And so try to make that on a number line. Show me what it would look like on a number line. Negative 3 plus 4. Okay, so we'll turn this over and make a number line. Bring it like this. Make a number line. Start with 0 here. All right, this is a quick number line. Remember the negatives are to the left. The positive numbers are to the right. So we said negative 3 plus 4, and we already said that it's 1. So let's prove it on a number line. Start at negative 3, and positive means go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, right at 1.